So hello, welcome to the Firestorm Squadron Firecast. Glad some of you are still with us. We have round 3 of 4 today. We have got Peirs Horry, who's flying Darth Vader with Sense Fire Control System and Afterburners, Whisper with Juke Passive Sensors, and Fifth Brother and Duchess with Predator. Peirs has already said to me running Whisper and Duchess in the same list is problematic because he wants to have Fifth Brother on both, which clearly is not allowed. Let's just move some logos around. Oh, not that one. Okay, I need to move some things so people can see some stuff. Do apologize. That one. Yep. That one. Over there. That's the way of the listener. Another cool list. Indeed, something completely different for us all to see, which is good. So we have Mike Edwards is running General Grievous with Daredevil TA-175 Soulless One, a Techno Union bomber with ion torpedoes, Dark One probe droids and landing struts, a Baktoid Prototype bomber with Diamond-Boron Missiles landing struts, 2 Federation drones that have Discord missiles, and a Trade Federation drone that has ion missiles. Now, a load of this is stuff that people probably won't be too familiar with, so I will go through some of that. Very quickly to go through the Imperial side. Before I do that, actually, guys, I just have to talk to the players 1 second. Right, sorry about that, guys. Just want to explain to players a few bits and pieces about being on stream, things that I need them to do to help track things for you. Okay, so the Imperial list is a pretty standard one. Duchess has been allowed to choose whether she uses her ailerons, gives her a really good positional thing. Even if she's stressed, that's allowed. Predator allowing to re-roll dice when in the bullseye arc. Whisper gets evade whenever she hits when attacking. The passive sensors, she is allowed to, as an action, flip the charge on passive sensors. While your charge is inactive, you cannot be coordinated, but before you engage, if your charge is inactive, you may perform a calculate or lock action, which gives her a lock ability. So she's able to actually take locks. The benefit of it is that she actually does it when she engages. So when she decides she's actually got something to shoot at, she can take a lock then, before shooting. So it doesn't tie her down to taking a lock inside of range 3. She can take it from well outside of range 3, flip that passive sensors, charge in, get the lock when she needs to, when she attacks. Now, this Trade Federation list, essentially, this Separatists, or Confederation Independent Systems, is a bit different. So we've got General Grievous, and his ability is definitely triggered when he's outmaneuvering the person's arc and being able to reroll attack dice. Daredevil will allow him to boost with a hard turn, but that would make the boost red. So he wouldn't be able to link to a focus action or anything like that, he'd just be able to boost. TA-175 is whenever a friendly ship is destroyed, all ships at range 0 to 3, I believe, get to either perform an action, or I'm just going to check that up. Perform a. There we go. Let's just read it, shall we? So after a friendly ship range 0 to 3 with coordinate calculate on its action bar is destroyed, each friendly ship range 0 to 3 with calculate on its action bar gains 1 calculate token. Now that is everything in max list except Grievous. All have calculate available. Okay, so that means if Peirs decides to destroy a ship, everybody gets calculate. Ooh, these are coloured. Ooh, that might be handy. Okay, I'll go check that out in a second. And then we got bombers. Okay, so I will start to colour code things as damage occurs. And who's got what. So he's just going to go sit in a rock, because he can. Or why not? He has landing struts. He's quite happy to just sit there. The landing struts allow him to flip hard, and while his struts are open, he ignores the obstacle, and he can basically pivot on the spot, sit there. The only maneuver he can do off that rock, though, is a 2 straight. But that essentially is a no-go area for any of Peirs' ships straight in front of those, because they have iron torpedoes and Diamond-Boron Missiles. Now, Diamond-Boron Missiles, I have no idea what they do right now. I was told they're basically like barrage rockets. So let's see what that does. Attack. You target like to spend 1 charge. After the attack hits, you may spend 1 charge. If you do, each ship at range 0 to 1 of the defender with agility equal to or less than the defender rolls 1 attack die and suffers 1 hit or crit damage for each matching result. Now that sounds terribly complicated. What I think it actually means is they've got 3 dice attack at range 2 to 3. Pretty sure that is the main reason for taking those. Now the Discord missiles are a little bit more funky. I can show you part of that card. The Discord missiles held on those 2 Trade Federation vultures. Basically, they're more like a bomb that they can launch at the start of the engagement phase. So if they have a calculator, they can launch this using a 3 bank 3 straight template. What happens is then the token that is thrown out there, if it overlaps a ship, is then placed either front or behind that ship. It has to be able to place flat. It cannot overlap when it does that. Any ship at range 0 of that token at the end of the engagement phase suffers a crit. So it can potentially move on with the ship, but it can just be barrel rolled away from it. And Peirs obviously does not want to head straight into those ships. Oh, so some audio on there, so I can hear some things. Like bad assault missiles. Thank you, Pope. Bad barrage rockets or bad assault missiles. One or the other. Or both. Depending. So these guys are the... what would be the 3rd table of the day. The records are still good. Okay. Return the charge. We launch. So we're going to launch one of the Dark Probe Droids. I agree, Paul. The Bubble Lab does certainly get. They do tend to struggle a bit. I found that with Grievous. I've been playing Grievous a bit myself. His blues aren't terrible, but he just struggled to get around the good person. I think the idea is he will do a fast maneuver, do that hard turn, and just hit something really hard like a truck, and then try be behind it with a bank move if he can. So we are back to dials. Pudge for the drop and sound, just having a drink. I am very glad that Mac has decided to color code his list, so it makes my life a lot easier when it comes to tracking damage on the stream. So we'll see how Peirs is going to approach this list. Julian Hood, I believe, is undefeated. Let me just check. Is undefeated. James is undefeated. Dom? Oh wow, okay. He's undefeated as well. Okay, so we got 3 on 2-0, 4 on 2-0, sorry, which is Dom, who's running Darth Vader Vermeil. I was in it one with Palp. Sorry, I apologise. It's a what you call it? Brain gone blank. The big striker, which is called a Reaper. I couldn't think of the name. So there's a Reaper with Palp, the initiative one. Julian's running Jedi. Annie Obi and 2 Torrents. James is running what? 3 T70s. And Finn. Okay. Chris appeared on stream in our last game. He's running Gavin, Darklighter, Cornhorn, and AP5. What was the 4th one? That's 3. Oh, Dom. James, Julian. James, T70s, Julian. Yep, there we go. Sorry, I got there. Had help from Phil GC walking around. Helps me out. No, I think, given the style of game, that Mac's going to have to hurry to engage here because of time. I don't know, we're just time constraints on the venue. Because these Imperials can just survive a lot of shots. If they can survive all those shots, and Peirs can just plink off a few damage on a few ships. That's right, Paul. I'll try to get there. It's going to be a bit of an issue for him. You've forgotten, haven't you? Bastion. So James is running Bastion, Jess, Snap Wexley, and Finn. There we go. I would like to have the top table on one of the top 2 for the last game. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. I think Peirs, before approaching this game, Peirs said he had a bit of a conundrum as to how to approach this many ships and this many arcs. as I did mention earlier, he would prefer not to fly Whisper and Duchess together. Because some friends suggested this would be a good call. He was flying Darth Vader Duchess, I believe. These players are a lot quieter than my previous two, so I'm just trying to struggle to catch up and listen to what they're saying. Peirs saying all he can really think is just stay away, don't get there, don't take all those missiles, I don't want to. Baiting the Afterburners burst, but no, just gonna barrel roll it. Max saying, "Oh, you're coming in that way." Peirs like, "No, I'm just gonna stay away. I don't want to be anywhere near those missiles." Just checking range. God. Looks like our friend Dominic Flanagan do very well against the E-Wings. Oh, we got some hits. So yeah, just took this. Two hits, no damage at all, as expected from a range 3, 2 dice attack through a rock at Whisper. Nice cleanup, good job. So I have flown the swarm before, similar swarms. It is a pain to set those dials when they are not moving in sync. Grievous is in a bit of a difficult spot where he doesn't really know where he needs to go, because that's two scary aces to his left which can come in behind him. I expect he might just get a fast maneuver from Whisper and Duchess to try and get in cat amongst opinions, but you might just get a rotate from the bottom bomber here. He's got all the locks he wants. There's a good chance that Mac would just be okay with Vader there if he can take out Whisper. I'm not sure which droids have what upgrades. Let's see, can I find some colors? Sorry guys, just trying to color code these ships and see if we get things sorted. There we go, all color coded up. Making my life a little bit easier. Well, that was a big wide base to try and avoid now for Peirs. A hard place to be. Grievous just going to bump into that. Oh, I've tried the Daredevil boost. Okay. It looks like Whisper's going to be a good spot to try and get a shot on that. Bit passive sensors. I like this list. I really like this list. Huh? I think I'm going to. I'm going to have to try this. I need to get another bomber. Talking about the Separatist list, sorry guys. I realised you just can't hear Phil GC. But I really like the idea of going, I have this many ships, here are this many arcs, I've got missiles, what are you going to do?
So I held off. I am going to focus as my action, and I'll target off.
That is a focus token beside Vader, by the way. I'll swap that over.
Yeah, some engagement phase comes to one. That's how I get the first. I think I'm going to die Wednesday. Yeah. So before I die, I'm going to fire my skills.
So they're going to drop out the launch.
Let's find out what it does. So it's a template then?
Yeah, so I've got
Penny has dropped for Peirs. He worked out that buzz droids had come from the Discord missiles. That's how they work. He has realised it, which is good. So Vader to shoot. It's going to be range 3 obstructed through the obstacle. Or range 2. Ooh, might be range 2. Range 3. Is that with fire control? Is that crit? Looks like that, I think.
okay, and off.
Just enough evades that he is safe. Duchess range 2. Does he have Predator? I think so. So it looks like it.
Range 2 bullseye.
Range 2. Two hits. 6-1.
I'll take one of them.
Sensors trigger gets the lock. Because that's what happens.
I'm sure you get obstructed.
Range 2 obstructed.
Range 2 obstructed.
So 3 dice from Whisper with a lock and 5th brother. This is gonna hurt.
So, I'm just gonna pick brother.
For a minute, I didn't quite hear that.
Oh, just out, baby. Just out. Alright.
So no shots on return. So the crit was a damaged engine. There's a good chance that all of these ships just hard turn on Vader. There's still a big area denial there for Whisper. Peirs is still kind of considering where his ships are going to go. He still sees that big wall of firepower in front of him. Just kind of, those two bombers just kind of denying that flank. But it does look like that Mac's going to have to split up his force here and try and take on, it looks like Grievous might have to go after Vader because of the blues on his dial are not fantastic to get out of that position. So what do you guys think? So what those of you that are watching, what's your call in the chat? What's your money on? I think Peirs can do this. He's got 45 minutes. You can just keep sneaking ahead with those points, chipping away. He's got half points on a droid. Gets a messy decloak. It's all fine. Just letting Peirs know that by the same tokens are double-sided, so he can just flip those over.
Is going, hang on a minute, if we just run away, I'll get shot. What that
Red hard 3 due to the damage engine, which Mac has remembered at the last minute. This is pink. 2 bank, which is white.
Yes.
Still providing that really wide net of arcs just to scare Whisper and Duchess away.
If we ignore the Vader, he'll go away, right?
The question is, are the bombers going to turn and expect Whisper to do a fast move? Or are they going to sit there and just say, Duchess, where are you going to go? I think they're going to stay where they are. They're just debating the barrel roll link calculate here with red. Surprised that's not forward.
Green.
Green stays where he is as we thought. And orange is similarly going to sit there. And is going to barrel. Now, bizarrely, landing struts, you still ignore the rock, but you can't rotate because you're not at range 0. It's not going to matter because you're not on the rock or shooting through it anyway, but just a bit of Technos. So just debating the focus stress here. Takes it. A bit worried about where Vader's going to be. So Duchess showing her with the gun. Yeah, well, I'll use my ailerons, that's fine. Just going to 3 bank in. Try and just get a pain out. I mean, all the locks are on Whisper, so it might be okay. I'm not sure what Whisper's doing. Whisper's in a scary spot. Peirs is used to flying Sinter, Duchess and Vader. Pretty much the same as what Dom flies, yes. So it's been interesting. One of the things he said at the start was he dislikes flying Duchess and Whisper because they both want to have 5th brother. So that's a bit of an issue, yes. Yes, I think Afterburners and Duchess would be very good in this list, but he just doesn't have the points because he's got passive sensors. I mean, I'm not sold on passive sensors with her because of how I fly, but I think it's still a good choice for a lot of people. So, must be trying to finish off that vulture that decided to run away. Vader doing his 3 forward. Gonna probably use his Afterburners to boost and get a lock focus on Grievous.
Really should have just tried to show main one.
I'll focus, and I will change my target lock.
Finn's super good. Just talking about the 3 T-70s and Finn list that James is flying. Seems very, very strong list.
How many hits to play you got 5? Yeah. Grievous. No, you're right. Let's shoot Grievous.
Grievous is 32. Pink has the option to launch a large droid, and for some reason it's not going to.
Vader on Grievous.
So Vader into Grievous. Yeah. He's going to spend the lock.
Oh no, I need 10 crits.
But that's a hit crit. I'm going to spend the.
Oh, I don't think I've actually.
So I realise he's missed the opportunity to change one to a crit.
What Grievous? Just do something like that. Then you get.
You spend it before changing the crit.
Because I spent the target on Droid roll D.
Blank. Get. Blank. Roll.
Going back. It's not good.
Yep. Oh, nice. Hit crit.
So he gets hit crit. Into Grievous is 2
He's
shields.
done alright. Didn't get through 2 holes.
Soulless One title proving it can keep him alive. Do well.
The next coffee target.
Perceptive co-pilot on Finn and Optics and Heroic.
Rather than shoot him first, shoot him first. Because if you shoot him, he'll get a calculate. Because if he dies, everyone will get a calculate.
Okay, right, so let's do that. Right.
Mac just explaining the order of his list so that Peirs, very sportsmanlike, doesn't automatically give a calculate to everything. Just gets a 2.
Because I say for defense, it doesn't matter, just was an appalling roll. Okay, well, now, yeah.
So Whisper range 2 into the droid. Spends a lock. I think that's 2. He dies anyway. Juke. It's fine.
Yeah, sure. I'll spend his contract again. Oh, was that only one?
You can roll, that's what you rolled.
Oh, I thought you only did one.
No, I did 2.
Oh, sorry, no, then I won't spend contract.
Yeah, so they're just disagreeing about how much damage he was going to take, so they just not spin the calculate, just loses 1, so everything at range 3 gets a calculate token, which you may not have measured yet.
Right, everyone gets a calculator.
Yeah, they were happy that everything was in range 3. Yeah, Dom says he's running V Murata with C3PO, which is something he's quite liked. Poe and 2 A-Wings. He's got range 2 obstructed, maybe?
So I've got to do 3 hits. Yeah, we'll go there. Now we'll find the time. Range 3. But that's so just what you do.
So range 3 obstructed a Whisper. Looks like 2.
So I'm going to.
I think he's going to have to spend a token here.
Yeah, no, I'll spend petrol.
Spending force for 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We have the same target.
This is Diamond-Boron Missiles from Orange Bomber somewhere. There you go.
One missiles.
Oh no, Iron Missiles, apologies.
3 dice. Let's go. Everyone spend the focus. Roll.
The range 2 obstructed. So 1, they don't even take back. So I'll spend that. 2. And I'll take 1.
So 1 shield on Whisper.
Baktoid Prototype.
Baktoid Prototype. Probably going to fire the Diamond-Boron Missiles. Whisper, I would have thought.
Fire my Diamond-Boron Missiles at Whisper.
Okay, right, there's range on that.
So it's not obstructing, so spin target lock. Trying to put on the right ship. Okay, like 2, maybe 3.
Oh, come on.
Oh, double blanks. So he's got to spend that evade.
And I should spend another charge.
Wait,
Oh, that's so nasty.
Peirs just deciding how much damage he's going to take with all these missiles coming in. It's going to hurt. Diamond-Boron Missiles are actually going to do something painful. He really wants to keep his evade to be able to cloak, but so he spends the evade, takes hit crit,
So one shield.
shield and a crit, fuel leak.
Yeah, but I'm going to start coming in now, so. Last one. Torpedoes. Three. Let's spend the time.
Just 3 ion hits, 3 ion missile hits. Sorry.
So one evade. So that's a hit and an ion.
Oof, hitting an ion to Whisper. That's going to be a dead Whisper very soon.
That's nice. And one hit.
Oh, if you suffer crit
Damage. Oh yeah. So you actually know it doesn't. Remaining.
1 health left in Whisper. Ow, that's painful. And there's still.
That's all your shots.
right. During the end phase,
So I'm just going to check on the missile situation. Let's take ion. Where's the other ion? There we go. There, got it.
Baktoid no. Baktoid is
Damage on 14, did that? No. With that range 1 attack with the reroll into focus, yeah, it didn't take damage, did that?
So Peirs just realizing how little damage he caused in that round, so a bit displeasing to him. But I mean, okay, so Whisper's oh god, Whisper's going straight onto that debris. I hadn't even realized. Jeez. Whisper has no escape. Mr. Vader and Duchess are just gonna have to do this all on their own. I mean, Duchess could 1 bank 1 sloop here and be right behind that bomber and put some damage in there. Vader can just 1 forward. My chat seems to have disappeared. Have I lost anything? He's still here. Let's just have a check. Chat. Can someone drop me a message in the chat? Make sure it's all up and groovy. I had a few warning messages pop up. Just refresh the chat. Make sure it's all still there. Okay, we just had a stream disconnect there, do apologize. If you try reloading, should be all good.
I'm just going 3 forward.
Hey guys, sorry for those of you who dropped there. We had a bit of a signal loss, so just reconnected to the stream. It seemed to be all good.
I was hoping that was going to be anywhere.
So back to them, just jumping over the top. Duchess there, trying to finish off Whisper, I think, and just have position. Now Duchess is in a good position here that she can swing around behind all these ships. Hopefully gets damage in. Peirs is not in a terrible position with Vader either. Duchess and Vader can still pull this out, especially with the crits that Vader puts through onto all of these ships, with the exception of Grievous. Although Grievous is now down to hull only.
Let's try and chase.
So guys, just pop me a message in chat there, let me know that you are there. We had a drop in the stream, just like to know that people can still see us.
In fact,
And the Vulture Droid there trying to provide an arc for Vader to sit in. Hello, thank you very much. Good to see you in chat. Thank you for dropping in. Glad the chat is working. So those mines just sitting there, just waiting for Vader to jump on them. I don't think he's going to.
Right, everyone has turned the wrong direction. These again can't turn 180.
So just rotating on the spot on the rock, which is allowed to do. He can even remove a stress if he had one, and he can take an action because he's ignoring the rock due to the landing struts.
Grievous.
So it looks like these ships here are trying to provide some sort of kill box for Vader, trying to get some shots on. Vader is a slippery character, so we'll see. Grievous keeping his stress because it's just a hard one away from that rock.
Right. Yeah, so something happened.
There's a lot of ships for these couple times. So Whisper has to do the one forward, cannot gain her evade token, cannot focus because she's going to gain a stress. She may kill herself on the rock anyway. It's not a crit, it is a blank, so we're fine. So Peirs here just debating with the ailerons, so we're not going to use the ailerons. I think we got a hard one maybe? Yep, hard one turn.
Now I'm going to then move myself into art, and I'm going to barrel roll.
So he's going to barrel roll so he gets an unobstructed. Oh no.
In times like this, is when I need a brother.
So he's barrel rolling so he gets the Predator shot, but does put himself in arc of Grievous.
There you go.
But I think Grievous is going to have better things to shoot at. Does Vader do the... It does do the one bank. I expect a barrel roll. Focus lock.
So, as my action, I will focus. I'll spend a force to get another target lock. And then I'll spend another. Oh, yeah, but I was going to barrel roll my second action. To spend another one for a roll. Anyway, that's what I was doing. In case I messed up the roll.
So that is a focus token beside Vader. I'll see one of the FFG ones. Peirs is more comfortable using those. I've changed it once already, I'm not going to do it again. It's fine. He's happy. Grievous will have Soulless One to trigger, so he can keep himself alive. So Vader into Grievous, range 1. Gets 2 hits. Advanced target computer first. Spends the lock because he wants the extra hits. And he's debating whether to spend the force or the focus. He's going to spend a force. 3 hits and a crit. Grievous gets a reroll. 2 hits and a crit into Grievous. He's got 1 left on Grievous. That was a direct hit gone in. Ouch.
So, who wants to finish Grievous?
So he's debating who to shoot at Grievous. Is it going to be Duchess or is it going to be Whisper?
Yeah, so I'm going to try Whisper next.
It's going to shoot.
It's going to be range 2.
I like to shoot with Whisper.
Well, also doesn't do better.
Not obstructed, I don't think, because that front right hand corner of Whisper's base
Oh, come on.
gets the 1 hit. Gets 1 evade.
Whisper. Okay, Duchess.
Peirs needed that.
Whisper fails to do.
So Duchess into Grievous. Range 2.
You in bullseye?
In the bullseye. Pretty sure. Guess real. 3 hits. Oh, it was a crit on that last. Sure. I'm pretty sure it's a dead Grievous. We got a fuel leak in there as well for good measure. Wow. So can.
Yes. So after friendly ship at range 03 with update, has been destroyed. I've been destroyed, but I haven't been removed. Okay, yeah. And so that's organized shooting. So
Yep, so everything gets calculated because 175 grants the calculate action to Grievous. So everything at range 0 to 3 gets calculate token. Good job, by the same token, gave us so many calculate tokens. Hooray!
If Grievous had run away, I would have barreled that. They both would have gone for that one. So something was hit a lot.
So Peirs still.
Yes.
So, right. Any shot has range 2. Into Vader.
Let's go range 2 into Vader with a lock and a calculate. But he's going to choose first. It shouldn't take any change between movement, but ooh, we might have a range 1.
I was thinking it might be range 2. Yeah.
Going to use a range 1 ruler, acrylic ruler, to try and see. That is underneath that template. That is range 1. So it's going to be a 3 dice with calculate. Oh, 1 hit.
One hit.
Yeah, just the 1.
Oh, come on, Vader.
Vader is going to either have to spend the force or take a damage. Spend a focus.
Because I don't know what your next
To take none.
Right. Only in the shot now is quite into you.
So I'm going to range 2 into Vader. Vader has no tokens available. 1 hit. Oh, it's going to spend the lock. To get. That looks like 2 hits.
1, so that's a crit, that's my shield.
So Vader takes a crit, because that was in fact a crit roll. But it doesn't matter, Vader's got shields.
Shield of Vader.
Thank you.
The Duchess, in a rare occasion, seems to be still alive and fine.
Peirs is very surprised that Duchess is still alive at this point.
Right. Sure.
Just doing a cleanup. and recharge reports from. Mac reminding it, Peirs, it is a must, so both players should be aware of that to keep both players going. So what do you think, guys? Our Vader, I mean, Whisper's still in a nasty place. Whisper still has to go through that debris again. Gets to do her own maneuver she wants though this time. Vader is now in a bit of a bind as where he's going to go to get out of here. The bomber on the right hand side can just rotate on the spot and point towards Whisper. Or where Duchess is probably going to be. It's a bit kill boxy, I think. I'd expect a Talon roll from the, it looks like orange, pink. I'm not sure. The one just in front of Duchess, I think, is probably going to Talon roll in behind Vader. That's what would make sense to me. You get a 2 hard from the one sat beside the Buzz Droids. I'm really not sure what Whisper's going to do here. He has to do blue, or he's going to get double stressed, which just seems bad. So a 2 bank towards the bomber, maybe? I just don't know. I don't like the position of the Imperials. I think there's a lot of arc skill pointed in this turn. My co-host Dom has joined me, but he's having chocolate at the minute, so neither of us like the position of the Imperials. Yeah, if just said Afterburners, because she just leg it, she just run away and she'd be fine. But I mean, I'm trying to think what Whisper could do. Whisper's on 1 health. Is going to potentially just take the crit and die. But has to do a blue. Has to do blue. I don't know where it should go. Three bank with Vader towards the bottom bomber. That is the Baktoid Prototype. Hard one puts her on the rock, I'm pretty sure. I think so. Well, hard one this way, do you mean? Oh, to the left. That's a base length, so she'd be there. She might be okay, but... Yeah, so I think Duchess, hard one left and barrel roll back might work. This guy's got to just rotate. I'm fairly confident. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's still got a lock on Whisper, I think.
13. No Whisper.
No, he's got a lock on Whisper now. At least I call one move. Oh, that's surprising. Oh no, 2k. Never mind. Not surprising. I forgot they had a 2k. I forgot the bombers were 2ks. I don't think it does.
Right.
But a sloop from Duchess wouldn't be terrible.
Duchess is going to aim forward.
Don't have to.
Is she? Oh, she's sloop.
Duchess for some reason seems to be doing the best in the. Oh, that may not work.
Have you slooped? Is she going to end up in the mine? No.
Oh.
No.
I think I've crashed your model.
Is that somebody's phone? Sorry, I just had a phone. No wonder I heard it so loud. Sorry, Peirs' phone was just going off my ear because it was right through the table camera. I do apologise. We've got 13 minutes left.
Yeah, but it's not what I wanted. Because, well, it's really nice. It's feel the stress. It doesn't really matter because I'm gaining the stress.
And who's up?
But I've got to roll to avoid the debris. I'm not going to blow up.
I would rather appreciate it if you did.
Still alive. At least I get a shot before I go. Okay, this is such a mess.
What's Vader now? Where's he going? Is it 3 banker in? Is he going to go on the missile?
I think he makes it, but I'm not good for it.
So I'm going to mark all the stuff. Is he going to land on those mines? If he lands on those mines, my god, that was the best placed mine I've ever seen. The buzz droids. Mark Duchess. Nah, he doesn't take the buzz droids. He's fine. He's all good. He knows what to do with buzz droids anyway. He did it when he was a kid. So that Duchess back there. That goes back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Why was that so far back? Something like that there. You've still got range one shot. I've got range one shot.
So Vader is free and clear.
Whisper.
Yep.
Wing
Okay.
2. Red, I think. That's a lot of paint.
Okay, now
Just 2. I don't even damage.
Into red, 2 hits.
Yes, so this one's got
Takes a damage.
15 damage.
Is he going to spend his friend's calculate and takes no damage?
Damn, I needed to cause damage to get my evade token.
Peirs exclaiming he really needed that damage for his evade token. Which is what we need.
Is it evade or isn't it just after you shoot?
Okay, well, Duchess is going to punch you for that decision.
So Duchess is going to try and cause the pain.
2 hit and a crit.
Gets 2 hits and a crit.
Oh, that's good. Come on, Droid.
Oh, he survived.
That's a hit crit.
After you execute the maneuver, if you move through or over.
Takes a stun pilot.
Right.
A lot of damage going through.
Firing into.
Can pink finish off Whisper? It did for a bit.
Can do Whisper.
You can.
So that's a crit, which is panic pilot, and then that's another one.
So Whisper did get a panic pilot, but we don't care. She's dead. Dear God.
So button up this first, and then you can select it.
Right.
That's Peirs going through the shoulda coulda woulda.
Yeah.
I mean, Peirs is still ahead. Just trying to get the dice to not be cocked. So range 1 into Duchess. 1 crit. Oh, takes a crit.
I don't have any tokens.
Any shields?
No, I'm a solid. Wounded pilot.
Wounded pilot on Duchess.
On here.
Peirs is having a bit of the crits damage. Not sure if that's an arc.
This might be. No, it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be.
I think that's in. They think it's out.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, they called it out. That's fine. That's their decision. Vader gets force back. So Vader can now potentially 3 hard. Afterburners after that bomber. Bomber hasn't got many blues. Hard 2's blue in it. I want to say. I can't remember now. I'm the one that flies it, and I can't remember. No, hard 2 is white. 1 bank is blue. 1 straight is blue. Yeah. No, I can't help me either. It's fine. I mean, would it be really helpful if I had the list on screen and I could probably look at what it is? Hard 2s are blue. Yeah. What? I don't know what shit. I'm thinking of Grievous. I'm just making stuff up now. It's fine. Yeah. So he does the 2 blue. Clears the stress.
Oh, you've not seen the one that's at his Droids?
Right. That turns up.
It's a ferrule.
He may calculate here.
Target lock.
No, it's linked to lock, sorry. I'm having a bad day remembering things. There we go. Links to lock on Duchess and gets a stress.
Yes. That's why it's stressed.
Sorry, they can't hear you, but you can watch. It's fine. Cool. It's been an interesting game. What's your name, sorry?
Johnny.
Johnny, right, nice to meet you. Oh, okay, well... Now I can hear you.
Yeah.
So, I'm joined by Johnny from Zombie Squadron, who plays out at Woking. Teammate of Peirs. Plays them quite regularly, it seems. So what do you think of the positions? I mean, he's having Whisper go over an obstacle. Whisper get punished by ion torpedoes.
Yeah. Ion. Let's see, where's Peirs?
So
Vader facing away.
Yeah, so what do you think, what is Peirs likely to do with Vader here?
See, if it was me, I'd go...
Because this bomber was here.
Yeah. Peirs is going to turn to the left, I would think, if it was me.
That's what I was thinking.
And possibly come round that way.
This bomber that he's just moving out, he sat here all game. Just gone, oh, face this way.
Grab this one, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so very happy.
Up until last week, I hadn't played against a swarm that had grappling struts, and I did, and it was, for me, it was an interesting game because I just had to fly around in circles while they sat there for the whole game. I'm not sure how I feel about them yet.
Yeah. So he's going to use the ailerons to automatically bump, just kind of turn his arc slightly.
Just about.
So just going to eyeball a bit.
Yeah.
They don't care if they bump their ailerons, and then he's going to do his maneuver. Hard turn 1, which is also going to bump.
Yep.
He's not going to go anyway, but he has bumped into the one on his left, which means he can shoot the one on the right.
He'll get no shot back from him anyway.
Be shot. Exactly. He's out of all arcs. Is he doing the hard 3? Did we all call it?
Yeah,
we did. Of course we did. We know what we're talking about. We know X-Wing.
Well, most of the time.
We try to know X-Wing. We make it up. It's fine. So using the Afterburners. So as the last Afterburners charge. I'm curious as to why he did all of those things and spend all those resources. I mean, that in my head, that was never making that arc.
No.
He was never going to get that arc.
He's trying to be greedy, which
doesn't work in X-Wing.
No, I find that out quite a lot.
So I mean, with 2 minutes left, I'm not sure if he knows he's actually ahead on points.
Yeah, he's ahead, and there's no real way that it's going to change now.
I don't know. Vader only needs 1 more damage on him.
Ooh. Is he in anyone's arc though? So probably get 1 more round maybe.
She's done well. She's soaked up loads of damage.
That's 4 hits out of hand. Who needs Predator when you got 4 hits out of hand? That's just a dead vulture. Sorry, I'm going to mute this because I'm going to share the screen a minute. It was pink, I was right. So, I don't think we've got any shots in return. Has he got arc? Oh, maybe. I think he does.
Very close.
Going by the laser, I think he does. But let's see. I find the strategies better.
Yeah.
Is it going to matter? Oh, it could matter if he kills Duchess. He puts Mac way ahead.
Yeah.
He has the lock. He has missiles.
1 minute.
I think he's out. So we're going to have 1 more round.
Okay, so
Johnny. Do we have a Johnny? Is Johnny here?
yes, it's me.
That's you?
Yeah.
Ah! So there's somebody who knows you.
Oh yes, it is.
We are going to have the 2 players that are contending for the top spot in the last game.
It is not me.
Which I think is James flying the triple T-70s and Finn.
Yeah.
And potentially Dom, who is flying a similar list to this.
He is 3-0 on this. I flew against him before. It was fun.
Is that against Dom?
Dom, yeah.
I may have flown against him a few times.
Yeah.
He's a squad mate and a mate,
Yeah.
aside from that. So.
It was a bit of a cat and mouse game for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. That's cool. And we're probably going to see another rotate from this bomber sat in the ruck.
That's time on the round.
So this is the final round of the game. What does he need to do? What does Mike need to do? So he basically needs to kill Duchess.
Yeah.
It's halving Vader. Give him 40 points. Oh, jeez. 40 points will put it on a flight salvo. If he halves Vader and doesn't lose anything. I just looked at the score and just realised. I don't think he's going to get I'm surprised he's not rotating.
Oh, let's stay in there. Interesting.
It gives a wide arc for where Duchess comes from.
Yeah.
This one's going to bump into Duchess and try and chase him. Duchess is his goal here. And Duchess is worth 44, so that is the right call.
Yeah.
Whether he knows it or not, I don't know. But if he loses a ship at all to Vader, which he probably will,
Then
he's still going to lose.
it doesn't make too much difference.
Yeah, you would need to half Vader, kill Duchess, and not lose anything. Is Vader just hard twos?
Probably. Hard to.
Take a look. Well,
I'd be
take a look at focus.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if Vader doesn't hard to.
Yeah, he's got to.
I'm just going to walk
He's opted to 1k.
Okay.
Yep.
Vader saves my ass.
Getting very loud in the room here, so unfortunately I'm going to have to do that. What I think his idea is if he loses Duchess, the others will. He'll have enough points if he kills something, so it's fine. He's already got the lock, so it takes the focus of Vader, range 1. Oh, that's. You're not being shot. Yeah. Fire control system. Spend it. 3 hits and a crit. That's a dead droid. 2 evades. Hit crit. Oh no, it's not dead droid. That's a bomber. Fuel leak. Oh, could still die. Orange. Takes hit crit, which is a fuel leak. So she does have bullseye. Yeah. So needs to get this damage through. No, Predator. 1 hit, not enough. Gets the half points. I mean, that could matter.
Let's go for the little droid that kills first.
So let's see. Duchess survives that one. If it takes Duchess out, he gets. It's still not enough. Time for pride now. That's range 1. Pretty sure it's range 1. No, 2, so we're going for the missile. The Techno shouldn't do what they're doing, but not to worry. They've changed the firer. Are they? Oh! Duchess just takes 3 and dies. So that is fine. Well done, guys. Peirs had no idea that he was ahead. Because, let me... Second. Go. So Peirs had no idea that he was actually ahead in that game, and has won that game. So give me 2 seconds, and I shall grab the players over to have a quick chat. There will be a quick one because we need to get into the next round.
Yeah, that was a really fun game. Thank you for agreeing to be on stream from the start. So I have played actually the Separatists a bit.
Oh yes.
So I have used I haven't got 2 bombers yet.
That is clearly not the way to play them. There's a lot of mistakes.
They're not very forgiving, are they?
No. I think all the time you're just wondering, right, any second now, anything shoots me, it's going to blow up.
Yeah.
But it makes it more fun.
I mean, you managed to corral Whisper really well. I mean, you had this. I saw you had that side as the kind of, I'm going to deny this flank, sit here with these 2 bombers. Go, you come this way, I'm going to shoot you. You're going to take pain.
It was a case of, right, everyone this way, apart from General Grievous, who apparently forgot what he was doing completely.
Yeah, I did see you had him set at the back. It's like, where is he going to go? You can't go straight at Vader, because Vader just goes, okay.
Yeah.
And you can't really go towards the other 2, because there's a lot of guns on you. You've got to try to get through and around. Wasn't able to get there, so it was a really interesting game. And the list, where did it come from? Is it
the list? I really wanted to try out Diamond-Boron Discord missiles with buzz droids, and just something a little bit different, because you can set up all those asteroids and then try and block lanes with the buzz droids. Then
we are still quite tight on time, so I'm going to try and get the next round going as fast as possible.
Sure.
Table 1.
But yeah, so it's just trying
It's John versus James.
all different tools and just trying to. Yeah.
Awesome. Mr. Millhouse.
Right, we're going to have to shoot on time, but again, thank you.
Thanks.
Table 3 is Mr.
Thanks, Paul.
Mr. Horry.
Let's go to seek and grab Peirs really quickly.
Table 4
we might just
is
not
a
have
tricky
time.
international affair of the French versus the Australians.
So we're going to have, as our next game, we are going to have Darth Vader and James, who's running the 3T70 list.
Table 7 is Mr. Feltreimer versus Ed.
Peirs, going to grab you real quick. Peirs.
Which means Juke versus Simon, you are the bottom table.
I'll go very, very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you are here. Congratulations, Peirs. Well done.
Cheers.
Super game. So, you've been approaching that list really hard, and you didn't even know you had won at the end of the game.
I don't really know droids, so I was just going on faith that what is that eye on top getting Whisper? Yeah, ruins Whisper.
So, is that the difficulty in the list, you think?
I don't think Whisper and Duchess fly well together. They both want Fifth Brother, so you're fighting over who gets it. Duchess would have been much more effective in that game with Fifth Brother on. So I feel like you just have to choose
Dom
between.
has a suggestion for you. Afterburners on Duchess.
Yeah, so that's normally I fly Vader, Duchess, Suntir, Afterburners on Duchess, and Vader, and then you can really cover the ground. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we're really tight for time, but thank you again for agreeing to be on the stream, and well done, and enjoy your last game. Right, guys. Flick back to this page. That page.
Right, so the guys are just getting set up for their lists. Don't know. Have that one. There we go. Right.